Hello everyone, my name is Abby Bliss White and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to do a full face of Chanel favorites. So I'm just as excited as you guys are about the new Chanel tweed quads coming out. I cannot wait to get my hands on those. But in the meantime, I decided to pull out some of my classic favorites from the brand. So we're going to kind of do a full face of Chanel favorites today, like my favorite foundation combination, my favorite blush, eye quad that I use the most from Chanel, and of course we're going to finish with a Chanel fragrance as well. So if you're interested in seeing how I created this look using my favorite Chanel products, then let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we're gonna have a little fun playing with some of my Chanel favorites. So in anticipation of the new tweed quads, which I don't know about you guys, but I am so excited. I hear that they are launching on September 1st, and I literally want all of them because I just think they all look beautiful. But today what we're going to do is we are going to use some classic Chanel products. These are tried and true products that I have been using for quite some time. I do have one new eyeliner that we will be playing with today. Besides that, these are all products that are not necessarily limited edition. These are sort of classic Chanel products that are popular for a reason. So let's get started with foundation, and I have a new favorite combination, and this combination is compliments of Mandy Davis. When we did our live together, she said this was one of her favorite combinations that she uses in her kit. So Mandy is a professional makeup artist. I'm just an enthusiast. And she loves to mix the Le Beige. This is the Sheer Glow highlighting fluid, and this one is in Sun Kissed. And she will take one pump of that, and I'll show you, this is the Sun Kissed color. And then she will take the Ultra Le Tente, and this is a medium to full coverage foundation that is very long wearing. I think it is probably fantastic for brides, and I do love this foundation. I just tend to use it more on special occasions, like when I want a long wear foundation. But ever since she taught me to mix the two of these together, and by the way, I am in the color BR32 in the Ultra Le Tente. So I mixed one pump of the Sheer Glow highlighting fluid along with that foundation. And then I'm just going to go ahead and dab some of this on my skin here. And it is just the best complexion combo. So then what I will do is I'll take a little damp sponge, or you can use a foundation brush, and I am just going to tap this into the skin. I just love this combination because it gives your skin a really nice healthy glow, but you're clearly going to get some coverage as well. And I have found that anytime I wear this combination, I literally get compliments on my skin. So it's not going to look like, ooh, you're wearing a bunch of makeup. And that is because you have that glowy base with that Sheer Glow highlighting fluid, which is just fabulous. I ended up picking it up in the Pearly Glow as well, and I'm still using the Sun Kissed right now because I'm trying to eke out the last few days of summer. I'm not ready for the fall quite yet. I'm still in my summer mode. Okay, here's what this combo looks like, and I just love it. It is going to mesh in with my skin, but it's going to keep this really healthy glow going on. But again, it isn't going to make you look like a cake face. So the Ultra Latant is a great foundation just overall. I tend to pull this out when I actually need a long wear foundation, or if I need a bit more coverage, I'm going to pull out my Chanel Ultra Latant. But mixing in a little bit of the Sun Kissed is just so pretty because I love a little bit of a glow on my face. So this combination has become my new favorite. Okay, brought you in a bit closer so you could see this combination on my skin. And it just is giving me a nice glowy base. And then we're going to go ahead and warm up the skin. And I pulled out my Le Beige. This is the Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream, and I love this in the shade medium. So I'm going to warm up my skin using this, and I like to use just my IT Cosmetics Heavenly Complexion brush. You can use any synthetic brush. I just liked the way that I can put a little bit of this on. So I kind of like to work from kind of the top of the ear and just kind of create a little bit of cheekbones here. And I take a little bit up into my forehead, almost like I'm tracing a little E here, just kind of underneath the jawline. And I'm not putting a ton of product on, but I'm sculpting out a little bit there and just taking it down here. Then I like to just kind of brush whatever's left across the bridge of my nose. It's kind of like you want to warm up your skin where the sun would naturally hit. And then I also can use this as a little bit of contour as well. I can put a little bit on the end of my nose to kind of shorten it, and then down the sides just to sort of thin out my nose a little bit here. Create a little bit of shadow there. Okay, I am going to use this smudger definer brush from Chanel, and I'm just gonna slightly smudge that liner out. I am in love with this color, guys. I love a blue gray on the eyes. Okay, this is what this eyeliner looks like. And again, here's a close-up of that color. So good. Love, love, love that. And I pulled out one of my ultimate favorite quads. This is number 308 Clair Obscure. And as you can see, this is just a beautiful everyday eye quad. Really high quality. These are just easy to use. They create a beautiful smoky eye. And for today, I'm just going to use a little bit of these shadows. This is just my go-to everyday eye. It is just really easy to use. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on putting a little bit of this shadow kind of all over the lid first, and then we can kind of deepen the crease a bit. So basically a nice sandy color that kind of looks great just with eyeliner as well. So we'll start with that and then we can build on. But I really wanted to highlight that eyeliner because I love that color. And I'm just going in with that basic shade here, and I'm placing that basically all over the lid, guys, just like a base. But can you see it's just like the perfect neutral eye shade? So again, you could just use this basic shade and use that pretty eyeliner, a little pop of color, but I want to add a little bit more into the crease, and I'm going to go up here. This is a cooler sort of taupe brown color, and I'm using number one, and I'm using a Wayne Goss number 16. It has a nice little tip at the top here that I'm just going to go in and put a little bit of that cooler tone in the crease here. Kind of giving me that classic Chanel smoky eye look here. So the colors I used were this one over here and then this cooler taupe brown. And then on the other days, you guys, I really do love this brown and this deeper one. This is like, I love it because there's like a little bit of cool and warm in this quad. Perfect every day, and it creates a beautiful smoky eye. But since we are using a little bit of that blue carbone eyeliner, I want to keep it just like this. I like the contrast that it's created so far. So a longtime favorite everyday quad from Chanel is going to be Clair Obscure. I feel like everybody would love having that in their collection. Easy go-to eye look. I'm going to finish off the eye look using two mascara products from Chanel, and I'm using La Base, and this is going to basically fortify my lashes and make them a bit longer, and then we're going to coat them with the Chanel. This is the La Volume Revolution. So I'm usually a Volume de Chanel girl, but I did end up picking up this mascara recently and I really like it. So let me just show you this brush here. And this brush here is going to help lengthen your eyelashes. It is going to give it volume, separate it. So this really is quite a nice mascara, and I just kind of wanted to go ahead and give it a try. Their number one top seller mascara, which I love, is Volume de Chanel. And if I had to pick between Volume de Chanel or this Volume de Revolution, I think I would stick with the Volume de Chanel because that one I've just used for years. This one is really nice. I just have to say if I had to pick between the two or recommend, I'd probably just go with the classic because it is a best seller for a reason. But if you're feeling like mixing it up, definitely give this one a try. So first I'm going to take the La Base and we are going to coat my lashes with that. And I have fallen in love with this primer for the eyes, and I usually never did this step, but recently I tried it and I've just been really liking the way that it makes my lashes go va-va-voom a bit more. I have coated the La Base on my lashes, and then I'm going to come back with this Volume de Revolution, and we're going to start coating the lashes here. Okay, my eyeballs are on, and what I would say the difference between this mascara, the Revolution versus La Volume de Chanel, is that this one's going to make your lashes a bit more feathery, if that makes sense. So the other one I feel like is just that classic traditional give your lashes a bunch of volume, and I feel like this one actually makes them just a little bit more feathery. That's what I would say. I wouldn't say there's a huge difference, but the brush is a bit different, and I think that's it. It's going to give them just a little bit more of a feathery look on the eyes. Okay, now we are going to put on a bit of bronzer, and I'm going to be using the Sun Kissed powder in medium. You guys, I do love this bronzer. So this was launched earlier this summer. I ended up picking it up with the large kabuki brush, and I do love this. I just think it is a great bronzer, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to put a little bit of this bronzer all over again. Okay, put a little bit of that bronzer all over, and then I'm going to top with a little flush, and I pulled out one of my favorite pinks, and this is Rose Initial. Isn't that such a pretty pink? This one's just going to give my cheeks a nice little flush here, and I'm going to go ahead and focus first on the apples of my cheeks right here. I just want to get a little bit of that fresh look here using this pink. It's such a pretty classic. This one's just such a pretty classic. I also love Rose Ecrin. That's another one of my favorite blushes from Chanel. Just adding a little bit of color onto the cheeks. And I'm actually going to add a little bit of that blush into my eye look as well, just to tie the face together. I usually will either take my bronzer or my blush, and I'll add a little bit of that into my eye look, and I just feel like that ties the face together. So just a little bit. I'm not going heavy-handed. I don't take away from what we've created so far. Just I find that it makes the whole face a little bit more cohesive. Now once I've done my eyes, I like to go in with my concealer after the fact. I do my eyes and such because I feel like it can kind of clean up if there was any mess underneath the eyes. So I took a little bit of my concealer. I have this one in B30, and then I like to kind of brighten up underneath here, and I like to focus towards the dark part of my eye, and then I will bring some of that product underneath the eyes, but I don't like to focus too much concealer where my wrinkles are over there. I do like to brighten up, but I like to load up most of the product in this darker area here. Using whatever is left on the brush, I will just brighten up in a few different areas, but in general, this is a fantastic gel-based concealer. So once it is in place, it is sort of going to stretch with your skin. So it's not going to just sit on top. It just sort of kind of works with your skin and doesn't necessarily sink into the wrinkles. So I really like that about this concealer. And this is one of these concealers that I actually use a lot, but I don't think I mention it enough on my channel, because oftentimes if I'm having a good skincare day or like easy weekend makeup, I will take the Sun Kiss, this Sheer Healthy Glow, and sort of put that down as my base, or I will use the La Beige. This one is in the Pearly Glow, which is so pretty, but I'll use one of these glowy bases like this one more during the summer when I can get away with a little bit more of that golden look. And then as we are transitioning into the fall, I will start using the Rosy Pearl. I found this to be very brightening to the skin. You can also mix these together. They look gorgeous, but I'll use that as my base, and then I'll go in with this concealer, which I have in B30, so it's going to be closer to my skin tone. It's not necessarily like a lot lighter for underneath the eyes. I find it to be plenty light, but I can use this and just sort of spot conceal where I need it, use that as a base, and it just looks really pretty on the skin. So for those of you that don't like foundation, or you have really good skin but you want to create a little glow, I would think about getting one of these like Sheer Glow highlighting fluids and the concealer and using that as your base, because it looks super pretty. We might have to do that in a different video. Okay, then for powder, I pulled out my Poudre Universal Libra, and this is just a great powder. I just use a teeny bit of this. It is going to be a bit more of a mattifying powder, but I really like this loose powder. I think it's fantastic as an overall powder. So I'm just going to take a teeny bit of that. So I want to focus mostly just straight down the T-zone where a little breakthrough might happen, and then I'll just brush the rest of what's on here around my face. Again, I'm not a huge powder girl, but I do like to set everything, and I just feel like this is a fantastic universal loose powder. So as far as lips, I have lots of Chanel lipstick favorites. I really do love their classic Rouge Coco moisturizing lipsticks. I have a top 6, I believe it is, of my favorite kind of classic lipsticks that I think anybody would enjoy. So I will link that video below. But today we're going to use one of the new nude lipsticks that just launched, and this is in the Allure Luminous lipstick. So I love these because they have a lot of pigmentation, but they're still going to give you kind of a nice glossy finish, like a luminous finish on the lips. And I picked this one up in 196, and I just find this to be such a universal good nude color. So it's not one of the super light ones, and it's not one of the super dark nudes. I find this to be just like a step up from my lips, like my lips, but better. So there were so many beautiful nudes that they just launched, and I did hear that they're also reformulating or relaunching their lip glosses, because I love the Chanel lip glosses, and I had noticed that they were being sold out and not being replenished, but then a rep told me that they're going to be coming out with either new colors or newly reformulated glosses. So I'm really looking forward to that as well, because those are a classic and they're my favorites. But today we're going to use 196, and my eyeballs are not necessarily working, so I'm going to give you a little close-up of the name here, right here, and then we're going to go ahead and put this on. And this is the shade 196. Okay, this is my final look of the day, and then of course we are going to end with a Chanel fragrance. And I'm a huge fan of the Les Exclusifs line, trying to figure out which one I want to wear today. But I also love the classic. This is the number 5, but this is the Eau Premiere version of it. And this one is my favorite version of the number 5. I also love the number 5 Low. This is just like my easy go-to fragrance. And the Eau Premiere version is a bit sparklier. It also has a little bit more of that vanilla punch in it. It is just a beauty. So I wanted to share that one with you. Love that version of number 5, but I think I'm gonna go with one of my Les Exclusifs, and this is when I wish we were live together because I'm having a hard time deciding. I am thinking about beige. This one is what I call my Johnson's Baby Shampoo fragrance, and I mean that in the best way. It's just really delightful. It's got this really good honeyed floral in here, has a little bit of vibes of Johnson & Johnson's baby shampoo that just really brings back so many good memories. So love this one, but this is classy. It's not like just shampoo, but it's just a real beauty. I also love Jersey. This one is just very comforting. Like this one, I might pick this today. It's got lavender in here. It is slightly powdery. I just find this to be like when I want to kind of cocoon, this is the fragrance I'm going to go for. I also love Sycamore. This one is going to be for those of you that love woody fragrances. This one's very uplifting. I just love it. It's like vetiver and vanilla in here. This one kind of gives me boss lady vibes. I love that one. And then my classic go-to is 1957, and I think of this as the sparkling champagne. It is kind of along the lines of this number 5 Eau Premiere, meaning that it is going to be a light, sparkling floral, just very classy, easy to wear, and just love 1957. So for today, I'm going to go ahead and put Jersey on because I haven't worn that in a bit. And I do sort of want that comforting cocoon today. I have to say I was a little bit sad. My daughter left to go back to college. My son and I had an amazing trip together, and then he actually came and picked up a car and he drove across country from Portland to New York. So obviously that caused a little bit of stress, worried that something terrible would happen on the road. He had friends with him, so they made it safely back to New York. But I've just been feeling a lot of that transitional change. So this is exactly what I needed today. This is a very cocooning and comforting scent. It has lavender in here, so it has that spa-like quality, as if I have gone to a really nice spa and I'm feeling relaxed from that lavender. It also has bourbon vanilla, so there's a slight sweetness to here, but I wouldn't say this is a super sweet fragrance. And then it's got this beautiful white musk. So this is the combination of notes. So very classic Chanel. Love this fragrance. Jersey. Feel like this one doesn't quite get enough love that it deserves. I feel like a lot of people would like this one, but yes, you do need to like lavender. So keep that in mind, but this is a beauty, and I'm glad I decided to wear that one today. So you guys, this is my final look as well as scent of the day. Always kind of go to my comfort zone when I'm feeling a little unsettled. I always come back to the classic Chanel. They never let me down. Love these products, and I have used many of these for years. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I will be back with another video soon.